And welcome back to Kyoudai Ai, episode 4, the mostly weekly podcast where two brothers geek out about everything Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. I am your host, superjollymac, and joining me is my co-host and brother, DonTheVan.
What you mean, brother? But hi, guys. It's me, Mr. Van.
Look, I gotta try to figure out some new way of switching it up every week, so that's my attempt of this week.
That's this week. Okay. I guess I'm not mad at that
Uh,
entirely.
yeah. So like I said, we're mostly just chatting a little bit about our week in review, what we like, what we've been doing, and then we end with some toku. We're watching Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. Currently, we're doing Kamen Rider Kuuga and Mirai Sentai Timeranger. So anything we've watched is fair game. Be warned, once we get to the toku part of the podcast, there will be spoilers, so you have been warned. So let's go ahead and start. You can grab your driver, your changer, cue our theme song, and let's go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, I guess we don't have a theme song yet. So
Yeah, we should get I was gonna say I was like, ooh, a new edition.
well, I don't know if you caught the end of 3. I'm like humming. I did get timestamps, so you are welcome. Timestamps are in episode 3.
I noticed that. I saw that. I said, ooh, look at that.
I know.
That's a nice addition.
There's
Quality
going
of
to
life,
be
if you will.
slight iterations every episode, so we'll see what I can do for episode 4.
Yeah. We're learning.
Yeah. So yeah, that timestamps got put into episode 4. But if you catch the end, or sorry, episode 3. So if you catch the end of episode 3, I'm humming or doing something stupid, like it's like a curse, but that's what I'm humming something. So maybe that'll be the theme song. I'll have to go back and see what it is. Maybe put some reverb in it. I don't know. You're a DJ. You know what's going
Ooh.
on.
Yeah, I got you. I'll spice up the little humming.
Yeah.
I got
All right.
you.
So how we doing? How you been?
I've been good. What happened? I went to this weekend. I went to Florida this weekend, so I'm doing pretty good. Yeah.
Fancy.
Well, I mean, I went to go visit one of my friends, so
Okay.
yeah. It was a quick trip, but it was fun. It was fun nonetheless. It's hot down there, hot and humid.
I bet.
So yeah, I lost a couple pounds in water weight.
Jealous.
But
Jealous.
it's cool though. It's been good. I've been getting back in the gym this week and listening to music mainly. So
Yeah,
started
well,
listening to more music.
nice. I have been trying to do the same. Not getting into the gym as much, but I have started riding. So I ride my bike, or I
Nice.
borrow a bike, and I started riding that every day. That it's not raining over here.
What do you mean borrow?
I mean, technically, there's stuff going
Yeah.
on. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's completely legal for the most part.
Yeah. It's like
But
you
I
see
go,
a bike on the side of the road, you just ride it.
yeah, but I go for about half an hour to 45 minutes. I try to do it every day. So I got to try to get back at the gym though.
Yeah. So it's a good habit to get into, as our uncle would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so my weekend, I went to a guys weekend, and I had some,
Nice.
I played a lot of D&D and then just chilled. So
Nice.
some one
Nice.
shots, a lot of food I probably shouldn't have been eating. Way too much sodium. Got to watch out for that sodium.
Yeah. I try to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
I try to like balance it out. Yeah.
Normally at home I'm pretty good, but for this trip we kind of took turns
Yeah.
making meals, and some people were not on the same page. But
I can imagine.
it is what it
Looking
is.
good.
So we can go ahead and get started with what we've been listening to. You said something about listening to some new music, right? What you been listening
Yeah.
to?
So, oh man. So I've been listening to Metric actually.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I checked out some of their other songs. I checked out Fantasies, their album Fantasies.
What do you mean you checked out? Have you never listened to their albums?
No, I've only listened to Black Sheep.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, you know what? I like Black Sheep. Let me check out some more of this stuff. And while I was in the gym, I was listening to Fantasies and some of their top performing songs. So that's pretty good. Gold Guns Girls.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is a
Yeah,
good one. I love that one.
that's definitely on my list right now.
Yeah.
I bumped that a couple of times. And then let's see. Off this album, it's not really. I think that's the one that stood out to me from Metric. But outside of Metric, I've like checked out Fiona Apple.
Fiona Apple. Wow.
Yeah.
Is she still making music, or it's just from back in the day?
Uh, yeah, she's still making music. It looks like.
Okay.
Yeah, she had her last album was 2020, and she has a single that
Okay.
just came out in May. But I checked out her title album from 1996.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently that's a classic album. So I was like, I need to check that out and see what that's like.
Fiona Apple. Where did Fiona? So how'd you get from Metric to Fiona Apple?
Well, okay, so I read books, and I guess I watch like booktube videos, which is like YouTube videos about books, whatever. That's what they call it.
Okay.
So there's this guy. He has a channel, and he also collects like vinyls and whatnot. And so like he had happened to collect or pick up the title Fiona Apple album, and he was like, yo, this is a classic album. She's so great, and yada yada yada. And I was like, all right, cool, I'll check it out. And he also picked up a Bon Iver for Emma for Always, I think, or for Emma Forever, which I love that album. That album is great. That's a classic album for sure. The Bon Iver one. Chef's kiss. Anyways, actually, I'm gonna look that up. The other artist that I've been looking at was Swavy. I don't know how to necessarily say their name. But
Sway Lee?
Sway. No, Swavy.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah. He just put an album out on May 9th. I've been rocking with it. Yeah. That one and his last album before that, which came out in 2022, All Meta's Son. Yeah. Yeah, check him out. He's nice. I like him. But yeah. That's the stuff I've been listening to for now. Honestly. And yeah, it's For Emma For Always. For Emma Forever Ago. That's the one. Bon Iver. So good. So good.
So I haven't really been listening to anything new. But I think there's a couple of tracks I've been listening to on repeat just today. Let's see. Lupe Fiasco, Samurai. Have you heard that?
No.
Lupe's pretty cool. I like the Samurai. That's a new track. There's a track also. I don't know how many track if it's like a complete album. I know I've listened to Samurai in the past, and then there was another track that popped up today that was pretty good too. That reminded me of Samurai and how much I like Samurai. But that second track was pretty good too. I don't have the name of that one.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. Vondi, Hero. That's pretty good. I don't know if that's from an anime or something. But Vondi is a Japanese artist. I like most of the songs I've heard from him. And Hero is really good. I like that one. Let's see. Big Sean. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because Big Sean's nice. But Big Sean's I don't F with you. You know what I'm talking about? Man.
You like that song?
Yeah, I like that song. You don't like that song?
No, I like that song. It's nice. It's a good song. It's one of his better songs.
Yeah, it's probably one of his better songs. I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
for some reason. I mean, I can't listen around kids or anything, but yeah, it's one of those songs that are just like party time. I don't know. It's just like you start getting the vibe, and it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna throw it out. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. with you. I get
Especially
you.
when the sample starts at the beginning, it's just like, yeah,
You're like, yeah, it takes you there.
it does. It
It
does.
takes you there.
And then I don't know off the top of my head, I can't really remember what else, but I had a couple of them on repeat. Oh, Icy. Who does that? Pink, pink, pink something. Pink.
I see.
Yeah. It's like I don't have my phone on me, but yeah, it's like Icy. I think. Pink sweats.
Like I like ICY.
I think so. Yeah. Pink sweats. I think
Yeah,
is his name.
pink sweats.
Yeah. If you haven't heard that, listen to it. It's nice. I like it.
Some of this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
That one also popped up again on the ride back. I remember liking. Oh, I still like that song. It's a nice song. If you haven't heard it, listen to it later and let me know what you think.
All right, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna add it to my library.
Yeah.
All right, I added it. I got it.
Let's see. I guess games will probably take a big chunk of the time. So really quick, have you been watching anything else other than the Sentai or the Toku?
Um, I, I not really. When I was in Florida, I started Fear Street, the Netflix
How is that? I
series.
think I started watching the first one and I didn't get too far.
Yeah. Well, I've seen the first three that came out like a while ago. I liked them a lot. I thought they were really good for what they were. Best horror ever? I wouldn't say that, but they were really good. I'm not gonna lie. So I would definitely watch them again, which is what I'm doing now. And I know they came out with the new one, Prom Queen or Prom Night or something like that. So I want to see that. I know me and my friend want to watch that, so we're gonna watch that. But they're really good. I do recommend them.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
I will check those out. I've
Yeah.
been going around getting back into horror. Like I like horror movies, so that's one of the things I'm trying to do. I think I'm not sure what I want to do, but I'm getting a hankering for some more horror movies, and Fear Street is on my list. It pops up every once in a while, and it's like I only watched the first 5 minutes. I think of the first movie.
Yeah.
I think she's like in a mall or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Talking about 1994 or something like that.
maybe that is that the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, that's the first one I watched. I don't think I got too far in it, and then I switched to something else, or I don't know what happened, but I didn't go back and
Yeah.
finish it. So
Yeah. Go back and finish it. It's actually really good. I think it's really cool how they put out the three movies together, but like they made them tie in. Honestly, I wish more like studios would do that or publishers would do that because that was really it was creative. It was different. It was really different, to be honest.
so
So
that might be my homework for this week. I'll go back and catch up on Fear Street. That'll be the thing I do this week.
hmm yeah,
I'm also
1994 was
yeah, I'm
yeah.
also thinking about getting. I don't know if I want to start from the beginning with One Piece and then go all the way through it, or just I'm tempted. I'm tempted.
Yeah. One of my friends said that they wanted to start One Piece, and I said, "You're brave." I don't know if I would do that.
It's hey, if you have never seen
It's a
One Piece,
lot.
it's good. It is a lot, but it's good.
Yeah.
There's a reason why it's number one. Yeah, it's number one in my
Yeah.
heart.
I felt like I would. Okay, I would watch it if we were doing it for this. Like
Tempting.
I like One Piece. I've read some of the manga, like a little bit, and I do like it. But for me to like commit that time to sit and watch all the episodes, I would have to. It would have to be for this.
It is tempting. I would want to do it for this, but I don't know. It is a lot, and
It's a
having
lot.
that as the thing we do, that's asking a
It would
lot.
have to be a segment. It would have to be a segment, like
It it
just like
would,
a short segment. Yeah.
but even then, it's like I would rather us do like a shorter season, something that has shorter seasons, than hit One
Hmm.
Piece. One Piece would be great. One Piece would be kind of like we're doing the Toku. Like
Yeah.
you'd have to have One Piece and then have some smaller bite-sized things on the side. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe like if we hit a milestone or something, maybe.
Yeah, like maybe that'll be like like every other week or something like that. We could jump into One
Yeah.
Piece. We'll have
Yeah.
to. We'll canoodle that.
We'll
We'll think
workshop
about it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
figure something out. But yeah, One
Yeah.
Piece is nice. And then there's a couple other series I kind of want to go back and watch. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. But for next week, I think I'm gonna do the horror kick, and then there's some spring anime I want to catch. So I might go back and see what's finished and I can binge. I might do that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'll watch Fear Street also this week so that we can talk about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah.
For games, how you feeling about this Switch 2?
See, all right. So when they announced it and everything like that, like I watched I was excited. I was actually gonna get it on release. I was gonna pre-order it, all that. And then they did their what is it, Treehouse or what
Yeah, the Treehouse
like,
Live.
yeah, or
Oh
whatever
no,
they
they did
do for
a
the
no. They don't. That
Switch.
wasn't the Treehouse. That was the Direct.
Yeah,
Direct.
the
Yeah.
direct. They did the first Switch 2 direct, and I was like, okay, off to a good start. Okay, okay, and then they kept going, and I was like, this isn't really panning out the way I thought it was gonna pan out. And then they dropped the prices, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to put a pin in this forever. I was like, nah, I can't do it. Because like $80 games is just nah. 70 was pushing it. 60 was, I mean, 60 was pushing it, but 70 is where I draw the line. So I can't do 80. The only game that I would pay more than that was GTA 6, and that's it. There's nothing else that would ever
Well, I
warrant
think you're out of
or
luck because 80 is probably going to be the new 70. 90 is
yeah.
probably going to be the new 70.
It looks like I'm gonna be buying stuff when it goes on sale forever. Yeah, and then they dropped the price for the system, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. I was like, why is it this expensive? It should not be this expensive for a Switch
I
that
don't know.
plays the same as like a PS4. So I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'll
Yeah,
wait. And
I
it
was
looks
kind
like
of the same.
Nintendo's not doing too well. Nintendo's not doing too well right now with all that. So
Yeah, I thought about it, but I don't. My Switch doesn't get enough playtime as it is, so why would I get a second one? Like if I could,
yeah,
uh, like trade in my Switch and maybe get a Switch 2, maybe. But I don't know. I don't get enough playtime with the Switch as it is, so
yeah, and that makes sense.
maybe one day.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me too. Like I don't play the Switch enough to even warrant the upgrade. Like, cause I play the games on my channel, and I was like, all right, this would be cool. I could like unbox the Switch 2, and then play like the Switch 2 games on my channel alongside with the other stuff. And I was just like, nah, I can't justify it. I can't justify it, and I can't support that either. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how it works. Vote with your wallet.
Yeah. So I think it's working though. I need to get caught up on like the news of what's going on, but I don't think Nintendo's in a good spot right now.
I
As far
think
as
they
that.
sold out. Or they're probably selling as many units as they put out there. I don't think it's sold out. Sold out. Like I think you could find one
Mm,
if you're looking for one, but I think
yeah.
they're cutting through it pretty quick. A
Yeah.
lot of people I know are hype about it. Um, I mean,
Yeah.
if the Switch is your system, I get it, but I mean,
That's
maybe
true.
once Pokemon rolls around, maybe. But even then, it's like I need to get rid
Yeah.
of the Switch I have before I would get a Switch 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I want to give it some time because the way they're talking with like the game cards and like kind of going just all digital, it's just kind of and
Yeah,
then also with the upgrade copies, it's just like that sounds weird, but okay.
yeah. It's like they'll do something, and I'm like, that's cool, and then they'll do another thing, and I'm like, but I don't know. So
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-mm.
we'll
I ain't
see.
with it. We'll
What
see.
about
Give it
what
some
about
time.
this? What about this Direct, son? You watched the Direct?
The,
Sorry, not Direct. State of Play.
the state
PlayStation.
of
We're
play. I
switching over to
did.
PlayStation.
I watched it today at work. while I was waiting for my meeting to start, I watched it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
somebody beep that in post for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just me. Let me write a note about that. Okay.
Cut this out.
Yeah.
But no, okay. So I watched it today, and like it wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst thing I've seen. Like I wouldn't say it's all bad. There were some interesting things. So like I saw Pragmatic. That looked pretty cool. That looked interesting to me as far as
Pragmatic?
Pragmatic.
Pragmatic.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
if I
thought that
remember
looked
that one.
interesting. It was like in the like first couple of minutes. It was the second game they showed.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Uh, I don't know how to describe it. I'd have to watch it again. Romeo as the Dead Man looked pretty. That one looked kind of cool.
That
It,
looks like Suda doing Suda stuff. Did you
yeah.
play No More Heroes?
No.
Yeah. If it when it first starts up, I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then as it keeps going, I'm like, maybe. It's a
Yeah.
little grotesque, but like maybe. It looks like it could be
Yeah.
fun. So I might be willing to give that one a try.
Yeah. I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked different. I was like, oh, this looks different than like all the normal, I guess, AAA stuff or things that are getting like the most attention these
Yeah.
days. So I was like, all right, I could probably do that. Um,
Pragmatic. That's with the little robot or something on your back, right?
yeah, the girl,
Yeah. Okay.
I guess she's
Yeah.
an android or something. I don't know, but
Yeah.
yeah, she's on your back. Yeah. Um, 007 looked really good. I
Double O
said,
007 looks like it could be fun. Kind of taking that
yeah,
Uncharted,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
That could be fun.
So I thought that one looked good, and I thought Marvel the Tokon looked
Token
promising.
Souls looks really, really good.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not a fighting guy. This makes me want to be a fighting guy. Like that looked hype. Like
it
when it
looks
just
so good.
starts, yeah, it looks good.
Hmm.
4v4 seems confusing as all get out, but like
Hmm.
the art style, it looks good.
Yeah,
I wish I was a fighting guy. I might have to give it a try, even though I'm not a fighting guy. But that looked really nice. And I think
yeah.
they might have more. First, I was like, Marvel vs. Capcom? Art
That's what I
style's a little
thought.
bit different, but this could be good. But then
Hmm.
no Capcom people came out, and then I saw it was Arc, and I was like, okay. But this,
Hmm.
it looks really good.
Yeah. I thought the art style looked really like intricate. Like if you look in the like the background or the backdrop, like it goes off into the distance and like the like what is it, 0 point or the I don't know. The backdrop, like it just goes off and it's super detailed and it has so much going on, but like also it's not too distracting from like what's going on in the front, at least from what they showed. And I was like, oh, this looks kind of yeah, I can get behind this. And I was a fan of Marvel vs. Capcom. Like I think 3 when it came out.
Oh,
Yeah,
2 is where it's at, son. 2.
yeah, yeah. I don't know. I might have been too young for 2.
3. I don't remember 3. I think 3 was okay. Infinite was
Yeah.
not very good, but 2 was where it was.
I don't know if I played 2 though. When did that come?
2 is old. Like 2000? Maybe before that? I remember playing that in college.
Yeah.
I bought a Dreamcast just for that game. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Yeah.
Mm, okay, that explains it. Yeah, no. I was like, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
But
It was in the arcades too.
Capcom,
Yeah.
yeah. I might have played it in arcades, like at the movie theaters or something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I know Time Crisis was in the theaters, but
Yeah.
that's taking it way back. But
Yeah.
uh, yeah, I thought those were really good. I don't know. And the Journey, the game by the people who made Journey and
Oh
Oushi.
yeah.
I thought that
Sword
one
of
looked
the
pretty
Sea, I
cool.
think that one was.
Yeah,
Yeah. That looked
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, I feel like they always make decent games. Like they always make really nice games, like well put together games. So
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah,
Si-
I thought it was pretty cool.
Silent
What
Hill
about
looked
you?
interesting. I kind of want to do Silent Hill F.
Mhm. Ooh,
What else? Let's
I
see.
forgot about that.
Digimon. I'm not a Digimon guy, but that looked like a cool game. Probably not for me,
Hmm.
but that was a cool game.
Yeah.
Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics looked cool, but I don't know if I'd
Yeah.
have enough time to go back to play Final Fantasy Tactics. There's no way, but it looks really nice. If I had the time, I'd
Hmm.
probably give it a shot. What else? I think there was a Karen or something like that. I think there was a demo
Mm,
for it out. I might try the demo and see how that is.
yeah. Yeah. I think they
See,
showed.
what's that?
No, I was gonna say I think they showed Neo 3.
Neo?
Yeah. No. Yeah. NIOH 3.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't played that one yet, but I might get to that one. Sea Remnants looks
Hmm.
cool. I think that's supposed to be free to play. Seems like some
Hmm.
chaos could. That's the pirate game.
Hmm.
Yeah, that looked pretty cool.
That
What
one did
else?
look interesting. It had a different art style,
Yeah,
which is always good in my book.
Ghosts of
Um,
Yote, of course. That's gonna be
of
like
course.
an instant play once that
That had
comes
like a
out.
quick snippet. That was a quick
Yeah,
snippet, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I know. Yeah. I still need to play Tsushima.
Oh, you haven't played?
I haven't played Tsushima.
That is a good game. I love it.
Maybe I'll do that on my channel. I'll just do like I'll just play through it. Maybe.
You should
That'd
do
be a
it.
good excuse, right?
It's a very good game. I liked it a lot. It took some getting
Yeah.
used to because I played it right after I finished. What is it? That one game. Joel and Ellie.
What game?
Last of Us 2.
Oh, Last of Us.
Yeah. I played that right after The Last of Us. And when I started, I
Oh.
was like, I don't know. It's not
Mhm.
as pretty and all of this other stuff. Comparing it, kind of not really comparing it, but comparing it. It's
Yeah.
just coming off of that game to that one was a little weird. But
Yeah.
once I got into the vibe, I was like, oh, I love this game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
I've
everything.
heard nothing. I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, it's a good game. I love it. It's a great game.
All right, I'll definitely check it out then. I'm playing Silent Hill 2 right now, so
Okay, I need to get to that
yeah.
one.
Hmm. Yeah, Silent Hill F is definitely on my list. I have it wish list actually, so as soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna pre-order it. I'm going to pre-order that one. I want to play that so bad. There's
Yeah,
controversy around it, but it's whatever.
Silent Hill 2 or F.
F,
F.
yeah.
What's the
Hmm.
controversy?
People are upset or have upset because it's like taking place in Japan and not like Silent Hill. Because like apparently the Silent Hill games have like always taken place in Silent Hill, uh, here in the States. I forget what country. I forget what state it is, but
Is it
Silent Hill.
Pennsylvania? I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look it up. But yeah, they're kind of like some people feel the type of way because it's taking place in Japan and and everything like that. But I was like, I think that's pretty cool. I was like, why would it be an issue if it takes place in Japan? I feel like I don't know. To me, I felt like Silent Hill was more of like a mental state. Although I understand, you know, it actually being a real place and it's been taking place there for all this time. But I mean, how many stories can you really tell in the same place?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. So I'm on the side of the controversy that likes it, and that's with it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, oh, ooh, ah, Metal Gear
Oh
Delta.
yeah, Metal Gear
Yeah.
Delta. That's another one where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to replay it, but it looks really nice. If I had all the time in the world, I probably would, but I don't know if I'm go
Hmm.
back and replay it.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
That
We'll
does
see.
look
It
nice
does look
though.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does look nice. But yeah, I think that's all I got as far as standouts
Yeah, I
for the
think the
game.
only other thing I was kind of interested in was there was a VR game. FBC Firebreak. I think that's supposed to be in the universe of
Control.
Control's universe. So I kind of want to check that out.
Okay. Did you beat you finished Control, right?
Yeah, I beat Control.
Okay. I was gonna say I didn't quite understand it when they were showing it because I never finished it. So
Oh, you never beat Control? Control was I had a good time with Control.
I mean, I was playing it for a while. I forget what happened, but I never finished it. I want to say I got halfway through it.
I had a good time with it. I liked it.
I might go back and finish it then.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's about it for games. I mean, I've been playing Rivals, and I think we just downloaded Arc.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Arc. Yeah. Probably get into that and back into Phasmophobia. I've been playing Final Fantasy. I'm still in 14. I'm getting my relic weapon. I just completed the quest to get my first relic weapon for the new expansion.
Okay.
So we'll see. There's a lot more grinding to do. I kind of want to go back and play some other games though. So we'll see. I need to finish Persona 3.
Dope. Jeez.
Yeah. I got pretty far in it, and then I started going off on other games, so I need to go back and complete it.
Yeah.
I should be close to the end, though.
Yeah. It's a really long game.
It's a long game. But, I mean, it's a good time.
You are better than me. I will say that. Yeah. All right.
All right, let's go ahead and get to the Toku section of the night then. We can start with Timeranger.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Mirai Sentai, Timeranger, you have your notes. I have mine as well. As we said before, spoilers for the episodes as we get to them. No future spoilers, so nothing past what we're talking about right now, which will just be episodes 9 to 12 of Timeranger and Kuuga. But anything beforehand is fair game. This is the first season we're really starting, so no previous seasons really. We might talk a little about the Power Ranger side of things. And when I say we, I just mean DonTheVan because I have not seen it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where we're going. So let's start with case file 9, the Don's Melancholy. Don no Jutsu. And I'll just give a brief overview of the thing. You can jump in whenever you want if you want to. But we'll just get it started. Let's see. A frozen, corrupted cop, Arnold K, gets released by Gian. Ayase is taking a driving exam, and then he comes across Arnold trying to extort people for money, which was pretty funny. The rest of the Rangers show up, and then he runs off, but there are a lot of people taking photos of him, some paparazzi. So the Rangers run off as well, so they can try to hide their identities, I guess. Arnold goes back to the hideout of the family, but then starts to get on Leela and Gian's nerves. And he's trying to like smooch up to the Don and then throw them under the bus for everything and then get cozy. So they have a whole scene of that. They get pissed off really badly because he just slanders them really bad. Then he heads off to try to get more money. But before he leaves, the Don gives him a nice little parting gift or a little present to help him power up. So he goes out, he tries to extort some more people, the Rangers come, he tries to use his power up to help him take care of all of the Rangers, and then it backfires on him and explodes. Once it explodes, the Rangers defeat him, and then it's shown that the Don sabotaged the present. So Leela and Gian were about to try to snipe him, But I guess the Don kind of saw all of that coming, and rather than him die, he had it so that that would blow up, and then the Rangers could put him back and could freeze him again, basically.
Yeah.
So after that, the press starts asking the Rangers questions, and then they run off again, and then the police are asked about the Rangers as well. And then at the end of the episode, Ayase kind of slinks off, and he's holding his chest. I guess he passes his driver's test, and they're celebrating, and then he suddenly drops his glass and then runs out of the room. And that's kind of, this wasn't okay. We can get to what we thought about the episode. I thought this one was an odd one because it ended really with a cliffhanger, which you don't really get too many of in at least this season of Sentai, I think. I don't think any of them really connect, and this was a odd cliffhanger to end this one on.
Yeah. I mean, I thought so too, but like, well, I'm not familiar with the Sentai version of the Rangers. I know in the American version, they do connect the episodes like that sometimes. Like they'll have like a part 1 and then a part 2, or sometimes they'll have like a 3-parter and everything like that. Like they actually have arcs inside of the season. So I don't know. They might have it. They might have arcs in Sentai. I don't know.
Yeah,
But it
but
feels
this
like it.
didn't really feel like an arc. It just felt like, hey, we're going to introduce this new thing all of a sudden. And it was just like, hey, we're going to introduce this, and then bye.
I I will say that this episode did seem like it introduced like a couple of new things, like the villains and everything like that, like of them having like their little beef and everything. I said, oh, this is new. Like they actually have like character development inside the villains, and like they're not one dimensional because like of the whole dynamic that was going on. So yeah, I thought it was interesting when they were trying to like sabotage each other.
Yeah. But I think it was just everybody against Arnold. Like, nobody liked him as soon as he popped up. And they were like, we got to get
Well,
rid of this
Don,
dude.
the Don liked him.
The Don was just like, whatever, he's a guy. That's why he sabotaged him. He was like,
He's a guy.
yeah, I can live without him. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. It didn't really feel like he was too caught up on it.
Yeah, yeah, but I also would say, I guess to continue the thoughts about this episode, I actually started dancing to the intro song.
Okay.
I was vibing with it. I said yeah. So let's go. So it's starting to grow on me like even more, and I do what you will with that information, but it's not half bad. It's not half bad. Not
It's
better
not that
than
bad.
It's not better than the American version, which I did watch a couple episodes.
So, well, you say
Yeah,
the American version of this season of Power Rangers, I guess. What is it? Power
Time Ranger,
Rangers
yeah, Time
Time
Force,
Time Force. We'll see.
yeah,
I'll at least give the opening a listen, and then I'll
and
come back and tell you how
and
if I agree with your statement or not.
I don't know what they were doing in the studio when they were making the Power Ranger theme songs for the American versions of all of them, but yo, keep doing that. Whatever you did, do it again.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think I wrote down the Rangers are celebrities now. Like they have
Oh
paparazzi.
yeah, that's true.
Li-
Yeah,
Literally, like they got like what magazine articles about them, saving
yeah.
the day and all that.
Well, it's about
Um,
the family, the Lunders family too, and then it's like there's a little
yeah,
section about them, and they're like, "Who are these people?"
yeah. I also thought it was funny how Ayase was struggling to get his license at first because he's a pro driver,
Yeah,
and like his instructor was like, "You're driving way too good right now." He was like, "Have you been driving without a license?" And
yeah,
yeah, Ayase was like, no. He was like, "Oh no, the car's stalled. How do I start the car back? What do I
yeah.
do?"
That one was
I was
pretty
like,
good. Yeah.
I was like, you slight devil.
And then he
And
like
I thought,
hits the
yeah,
brakes too hard and jerks the car a
yeah,
couple times. Yeah.
absolutely. And I think it's funny how what's his name, Domon, he's
Doman?
still like just, yeah, he's still struggling to get clients for his self defense class.
Yeah.
So this guy, I don't, I don't know if he'll ever actually teach a class
uh,
at this
I'm
point.
sure one day maybe.
Mm-mm. Yeah,
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Pretty
What about you?
standard. Pretty standard. I think the only thing that kind of differentiated this one was I mean, it was nice to see the little uh, the beef between the two sides of the Don's kind of lackeys. You have is the people he came up with, and then the mercenaries, and how the mercenaries are kind of getting this bad rap. And then how they ended it was kind of different. But other than that, kind of standard episode. Not too bad.
Yeah, yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So let's go ahead to the next one. Case file 10. Ashita no Dashitsu. The escape to tomorrow. Let's see. Tatsuya finds Ayase in pain, but Ayase leaves without saying anything. So this picks up right where the last episode ends, with Ayase going outside of the apartment and then kind of crumpling over in pain. And then Tatsuya
Hmm.
comes out, but Ayase doesn't really tell him anything and then just leaves. We see someone get unfrozen, but we're not told who. The Rangers notice some sort of pulse all of a sudden, and then Ayase and Tatsuya end up going to investigate it. But when they get to the spot, it kind of blows their changers, the chrono changers, and then it
Hmm.
explodes. Ayase covers Tatsuya, and they both get pretty beaten up. And then Org, our new monster of the week, shows up and then tells them that they have a bounty on them that he's trying to collect. I think it's like 5 million each.
Yeah, yeah.
Tatsuya and Ayase realize they can't transform because their chrono. Why am I trying to say chrono trigger? Chrono changer got blown up. So they get chased around by Org. And then eventually they try to hide into a room that's a refrigeration room. And then they get
Hmm.
locked in and he turns it on. Yeah. And there, Ayase reveals that he has Osiris, or they say it a little bit different, Osiris syndrome, which is why he had to
Something like
stop being
that.
a racer. So I think this answers the question before. I think he was failing all of those tests because he had this syndrome that would flare up every once in a while.
Yeah,
And that's probably why he
I guess
kept
it.
failing those tests.
Yeah, I guess it didn't explain the fact that like it flares up. Like it just said that he had the sickness. I guess we kind of have to use context clues to realize it like flares up.
Well, I think that's why he dropped the glass, because they did some flashbacks. And I think there was a couple
Yeah.
of other episodes that they try to flash back to kind of show where he did something or something happened.
Hmm. I thought those flashbacks were like showing why, like him just like why he didn't care or why he was like nonchalant about a couple of things. Because since he had it, he was like, "Oh, if I die, I die," type of thing. I don't know.
I don't think that was kind of the. We can get to that in the end. So
Yeah.
let's do that. So Doman and Yuri are getting like dealt with by Org. So they end up coming to the same area as soon as he locks the other two inside the refrigeration room, and they start
Hmm.
fighting him, but they are just getting beat down.
Yeah.
And then Shion eventually pays Tatsuya's phone bill and then calls them and then figures out where they are. So he
Hmm.
gets them out of the refrigeration room, fixes their chrono changer, and then they all meet up and fight Org. And I think that's it. They pretty much beat him down after that point.
That's a sign. It's a sign we should talk about Chrono Trigger instead.
Everything leads back to Chrono Trigger. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What were
So
you
what did you
about
think
to
about
say?
this one?
Oh, me? Okay. um, Well, obviously, it picked up from the last episode, and that stands out entirely since this is the first time they've done this at all. Uh,
Yeah,
for me, the past two episodes seem like a lot darker, and like this, it seems like the stakes are higher. Like, I don't know. Like the Rangers have been getting like worked, like like handled.
I was I was thinking about that watching it because I was like, they're not having because I would figure the power gap or something would be a lot
Yeah,
higher. Like they would just be handling these guys a lot easier. But it looks like they're
yeah,
struggling. Like they barely win these fights.
barely.
Yeah,
Like awesome, some fluke last minute subbing
yeah.
coming in.
Or someone
That's like
else comes
what?
in and helps them, or something happens randomly. Like the Don helped
Yeah,
them win the last fight, basically, because they were about to get
yeah.
destroyed.
Like so, I'm like, all right. It seems a lot darker, and obviously they got stuck in the fridge. Also, reading is essential. I'm sure if you ran by, you could have saw that it said fridge because
I
it said
mean,
that like on the little button. But you know, you're getting chased. Your life is in
yeah,
your life's on the line. All right, whatever.
I could have read that and still went into that room because it's like, who's gonna lock the door, right? He can't find us in here. He don't know. He don't
Uh-uh.
know.
That is horror movie 101. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Not me. But anyways, yeah, but like it seems like one I keep saying this name wrong. Ayase has the illness, which I don't know if he's gonna get a cure for it or if he's gonna have that the whole time. I feel like they're gonna get a cure for it.
I
I think the
mean,
character development is pretty nice too.
yeah, he does say there's no cure for his ailment even in the future.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of why Tatsuya's little speech kind of resounded with him because he's trying to push forward to the next day.
Yeah.
But and then I do remember you said something about that's why he was taking so many chances.
Yeah.
And I kind of do like how they said that it's not because he's going to die that he's just throwing his life away. It's because he's going to
Yeah.
die that he knows how important it is or how important it is to try to stay alive, so he wants the other people to try to do that. It's
Yeah.
like a little nuance that kind of takes it from that I'm just going to sacrifice myself because my life doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I
It's like
thought that
it's
was
worth
nice.
protecting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's worth
Yeah.
protecting, so I want to protect it for the other people, which I thought was
Yeah.
a nice little twist on it.
Yeah. I thought so too. I was like, look at them.
Yeah.
Still almost froze to death, but whatever.
And then they're just fine. So, but
Yeah. Yo, like no. When Shion came through and got them out the fridge, and literally in the next scene they came out the fridge perfectly fine. I said, wait, y'all were just blue in the face.
Homeboy
Like,
was
I
just
don't think
leaning against the wall, like, hey, you finally came? You're here?
yeah.
Hey, okay, we
Okay.
can do this. Yeah,
Yeah. Came out full of color, full of life. I was
yeah.
like, nah, it don't work that way. Um, and then I also was like, how does Tatsuya have a cell signal in the fridge? And at the turn of the century, mind you, this is 2000 we're talking about. The
I
year
don't, I don't,
2000.
I don't think that's
What?
such a huge gap to get past. I don't know.
And a it's a warehouse building. When's the last time you had a cell signal in the warehouse building in the year 2000?
I mean, even now, sometimes I go into a basement and but I mean, I don't think that's a huge one. I
Yeah,
can let
no,
him,
no.
I can let him have that one. I don't know. I can
Alright,
let him have
fine.
that one.
Fine. But that stood out to me. I said,
Yeah.
Also, I noticed because you said last time the Time Gate song started playing, like randomly in an episode.
You
Just
mean the new Robo song? Yeah.
mhm. It does not play every episode because it did not play in this episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just random, I guess.
Well, did they switch forms a lot? Well, I don't know how many times they switch forms before that. I hear it. I know I hear it sometimes when they're in giant form.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they do come out and like just go straight to alpha form and not go into like the beta form. So yeah.
1 second. And we're back.
I forgot where we were. Oh yeah, the song doesn't play. Like sometimes they have the beta form and then they just go straight into the alpha form. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Might have to keep track of
can try. Um,
that. Yeah.
but that's the end of
What
that
what are
one.
your what are your thoughts on the episode? I don't know if we got all of yours.
I think we did. Yeah, I think we got pretty much everything. I think
Most
it's
of it.
a nice add of the little virus or whatever, the sickness. Kind of
Mm-hmm.
I guess they hadn't really been going too in depth. We're still learning a little bit about the Rangers, so that's pretty good. And they're putting in these little bits and pieces to try to give them a little bit more depth and get a little bit further in the story. So it's always nice to see,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. All right.
So let's
Episode
see.
11.
Number case file 11, Shito no Machi, Death Match City. So you thought episode 10 or 9 and 10 were dark. Get ready for this one. So the little paparazzi that was taking pictures of the Rangers last episode, her name is Hanami. So she's selling pictures of the Launders family because the Launders family, she finds them having dinner at some restaurant and takes photos and then sells them for cash. Sadist Gogan is released by Gien. The Rangers hear a report about 32 injuries in a town, and then they go investigate. When they arrive, they get attacked by a bunch of the townspeople randomly. Let's see. Yuri ends up saving Hanami because she's about to get pulled into somebody's apartment and probably killed.
Wait. I think this is episode 12.
No, this
Episode
is
11.
11. Yeah.
The alien.
No. 12 was the 11. 12 was the alien. 11 was the Death Match City.
Oh. Maybe I watched them out of order.
You probably did.
Okay.
So Hanami is about to get pulled into somebody's apartment, and then Yuri ends up saving her. And then all of the Rangers end up finding I guess Shion has some locator on everybody's Chrono Changer. And they end up tracking down the little mind control device. But when they're about to snap it or snipe it, Hanami is in the way. And they don't want to have her explode when they do it. So they end up losing their chance to shoot it. And then Gogan runs off with the device. And then they have to kind of deal with all of the consequences. So they kind of... The townspeople start going to their little meetup so they can start fighting to the death. Last time, I guess it was just injuries, but this time they're all going to fight until one is alive. Eventually, Gogan traps the Rangers inside some sort of shield, and then they eventually blast through it, track down Gogan again, destroy the mind control device, and then they end up fighting him and then refreezing him. When we leave, Hanami has figured out the identity of the Rangers, and she takes a couple of pictures of them and accepts that she thinks that Time Yellow is Ayase, not Doman, because she starts kind of having a thing for Time Yellow, I guess.
Yeah, she's crushing.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much where we end the episode.
Yeah. Yeah. I did watch them in the right order. I just got confused at my notes because the first word for episode 11 is Shion, and I was like, huh, yeah, Shion was like a big part of that confused me. I was like,
Yeah.
right. But yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So I think this is the first time we see the Zeniths in the little mini form. So they're like little capsules, I guess they throw down, and then they pop out and do their little weird dance.
Hmm. No, it's not the first time. They've done that before.
Have they? Okay.
Yeah, they've done that so many times.
Well, I don't remember they're
It might
popping
be.
out of the small little pill form,
Yeah,
but okay.
yeah, they've done it a couple times. It doesn't make sense to me, but I was like, all right. Well, it makes sense, but it always looks funny. It looks funny when they just throw down like the little nuts and bolts and gears and stuff.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I assume they're like little compressed forms, kind of like when they cryo freeze the bad guys at the end of every episode.
That's true.
So
Huh.
they're just
Yeah.
like, I guess they're not alive, so they're even smaller. I assume they're not alive. They're just machines.
Yeah.
But other than
Yeah.
that, a pretty slightly more dark episode. This one was,
Very dark.
yeah, a weird one.
Very dark.
If you're talking about a kid show, I think it's kind of odd. But other than that,
Yeah.
it was pretty good. I think it was pretty obvious that she would figure out what the Rangers' identities were when they show up in the same city, and it didn't feel like they were trying to hide it that hard.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they were there and she was there and they were like, why is she here? And then what's her name? Yuri. Yuri walked up. She was like, you need to get out. She was like, wait, why don't you get out? And it's like, don't worry about that. You need to get out.
Yeah,
And then she just walked off and she's like, wait a minute. And then she like meets up with Doman and she's
yeah.
like, they're not leaving. Let me follow them. Like that's obvious.
So
Yeah. Also, I guess I put in my notes that Shion is absolutely changing his hair color because his hair color has changed in this episode too.
I told you I wasn't crazy.
Yeah, you're not crazy. He's like a blonde type of color now. So I was like, wait, he definitely started off with like some like mint green type
Yeah,
of I was like, nah, okay. So
good.
yeah.
I feel
I did,
what, vindicated, validated. I don't know.
yeah.
One of those words.
Both. Both.
I feel seen.
Yeah. I see you, man. I
Yeah.
see you, man. I love you, man.
So that was episode 11.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Well, I mean, in this one, you kind of see Yuri being like, she's definitely the mom of the group, like in the way she like kind of acts and talks to the other Rangers. Definitely the mom.
I don't know
Yeah.
about that, but
Nah, she's definitely like the mom of the group. Yeah, she's like, just don't do nothing stupid.
well, yeah,
Like,
I guess maybe because all of the other ones are just like little kids and doing whatever they want to do. But
yeah, yeah. And poor Doman. Yeah, camera girl has a crush on him. Doesn't
yeah,
even know it's him.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that
At
was
this
just one
point,
chance.
yeah, yeah, exactly. At this point, I gotta see him and Ayase brawl. At this point, fight to the death, if you will. Yeah,
It might happen.
yeah.
I could see that happening.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's episode 11.
Yeah. So case file 12, Hoshi ni Negai, wish upon a star. Let's see. The Rangers are looking for some new jobs when a boy comes asking for help finding an alien. He takes Shion to an old man performing tricks, whose name is Argo. I think Argo says that he learned all of his tricks from an alien. So the boy kind of wants to prove to the other kids that Argo isn't some crazy old man, that aliens really do exist. So that's why he wants the Rangers to try to help him find an alien. So there are items that are disappearing all over town. And then we get introduced to the new monster of the week, Gaymark, the blackmailer Gaymark, who is blackmailing Argo into stealing the items because Argo can kind of teleport things from one spot to another. Because he learns that Argo is an alien that's trying to hide out on the planet. And no one knows that aliens exist in this time period. Argo's planet. Let's see. Shion finds out and tries to convince Argo not to help the Launder's family, that he can help save him. Eventually, he convinces them to do that. They end up tricking Gay Mark with one of the gadgets Shion made earlier, and then rescue the kid because Gay Mark took the kid that was trying to help Argo captive to make Argo steal the statue that he wants. So after that, there's a big fight. They save the kid. Argo ends up leaving at the end. And then they explain his spaceship leaving to the kid as the alien that helped Argo, and that Argo was actually going somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I think that's the end of that. That
Yeah.
one's
Argo left his coin.
yeah. He gives the kid, he teleports his coin down to the kid. So
Yeah. That was a weird one to. That's a weird way to end it, but yeah, whatever.
it's a pretty self-contained episode. I don't know if I have too much other than that. I guess we
Yeah.
learn a little bit more about Shion, or
Yeah.
get him emotionally involved in the episode, but I don't think it really
Yeah.
introduces anything new, no new information, no new gear or anything. I guess you do find out that aliens do exist in this time period, and that they're hiding out from everyone else. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. I guess they reinforced the fact that the Rangers are all friends and that Shion's not really alone.
Yeah, they did do that at the end too. Yeah.
I mean, outside of that, outside of like, I thought it was funny when the kid came in. He was like, "Yeah, I need help finding an alien," and Shion was like, "Me?" And I was like, "Wait."
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, outside of that, yeah, it's pretty self-contained. It's not really too much, honestly. It was a cool episode.
Yeah. So this week's of episodes of Sentai, pretty good range. You have some one-shotters in there. You have a nice kind of A and B that link together between, I think, 9 and 10.
Yeah.
And then you have a dark one in 11. And then
Yeah.
12 is just kind of like a one episode. We're back to the monster of the week. Here you go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not too bad. I'm
I don't
still
know.
enjoying the season.
Yeah. I don't know. It might just be me. I really like these episodes. I might just like the darker stuff.
I think
Okay.
the darker stuff stands out a lot, especially because this is supposed to be for like little kids, but I guess they're not shying away from it. And
Yeah.
I think going on the dark storylines is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it just adds more stake or more drama to it, so that it does make sense. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did after finishing episode 12, I went and watched the Time Force Rangers to see the differences or to see if there were any major differences, and boy, oh boy, were there major differences.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's completely different.
Mm.
Yeah, like for one, theme song is bumping. Like I was like, Time Force, let's go. But for one or for two, I guess the main villain is different. The main villain is Rancic, and then the lady with the pink hair, she's a different character, obviously. But I will also say they have a different plot going on, as far as like how they even get to the past, and also what the Rangers, like their relationship and what's going on there. They definitely added extra fight. Like they have completely new scenes like that are not even in the Sentai. Did I mention the theme song was bumping? And then also, I think the show quality might be a little bit higher. And
Well, keep in mind, I think they also shot probably the Power Rangers after that season of Sentai was done. I don't know how the timing works on it,
it
but
was a year after.
yeah, okay.
Yeah. It was a year after. So I mean that definitely takes into like that has influence over it. But what am I trying to say? I guess I don't want to spoil Time Force. I don't know if we're gonna like go over that, but I don't want to spoil it. But
Also,
it's,
keep in
it's
mind some of that stuff might come back. Like they might have reused season or scenes from somewhere else in this season,
yeah,
so it could
maybe
still pop in there.
maybe they might. Oh, the Dawn does show up in the show, but like he's like a he's like a comedy character, like silly,
Comedic
like
relief.
yeah, comedic relief. Like he's like a buffoon.
Hmm.
So he's not the same Don as like in the Sentai where he's like actually like running stuff. He's just kind of like bumbling. So I thought it was cool. I don't know. It might be worth checking out both versions, like the American version of the show and the Sentai version, since they're like since it had such drastic differences. Like it was a like big differences. Like
Yeah.
the two like the beginning episodes are nothing the same like at all.
Well, I might check out at least the first 2 episodes and see.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, we can get over to Kuuga right now
Yeah.
and finish off strong with some Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
So let's start with episode 9 of Kamen Rider Kuuga, named Kyoudai, or siblings.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we start with Yusuke coming downstairs, and he has now made a Kuuga t-shirt that he is proudly showing off. Minori comes by. Minori, before I thought her name was Midori, which is like green, but it's Minori.
Yeah.
She comes by, and then Yusuke runs off. So Minori has the day off, and she has come to hang out, and then Yusuke immediately leaves, and leaves all of his work for her to do,
Hmm. Pretty much.
which was odd. And then we kind of get a hint that it's Yusuke's birthday today.
Hmm.
Then we cut over to the police. The police have been investigating, and the Grongi and their hideouts, and have found some of their hideouts around the city.
Hmm.
And then they have gotten one dog that can track one of the Grongi that they're using. And then they have gas grenades that they think could be useful to incapacitate the Grongi. They're
Yeah.
still calling them unidentified life forms, though.
Hmm. And they're up to like what 20?
20. Yeah, I think this episode they have number 20. Yeah.
21. My bad.
Yeah.
21.
So Yusuke visits Sakurako and she tells him that there should be one more color, and that one more color that he can turn into, and that color should come with a new weapon. A new Grongi shows up and starts out with a bang. Like he completely blows up these two schoolgirls. It's pretty sad. Like
It's
really
awesome.
sad.
Oh, I mean, sad.
Like we'll get to it at the end, but the body count for this show, like man, they're racking them up there.
Yeah.
Let's
I love
see. Yusuke gets a call and rushes out and tells Minori, and then as he's running out again, Minori tells him or reminds him that it's his birthday.
it.
So Yusuke runs out, ends up finding Giga Gi as he's about to attack some workers, who will in the future just be called Giga, I guess. And then he does a henshin, and then starts just wailing on Giga, and that's kind of where we end the episode. Actually, no. At the end of the episode, the police also find a hideout. The dog leads them to a hideout, and they're all kind of lined up outside of the hideout. And then Yusuke is just like banging on this dude, just like giving him body blows,
Beating him
body
up.
blows, body blows. And that's kind of,
Yeah.
we just cut off the episode right there.
Yeah. Cliffhanger. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah. Um. I mean, for this, what did you think about this episode?
This episode was, I I don't know. For being called Kyoudai, there wasn't much about the Kyoudai. I guess we get a lot of Minori being. You see that she's not happy about kind of what Yusuke's doing, or I guess she's
Yeah.
more worried. You can kind of see her worrying about him.
Hmm.
But other than that, you really don't get too much. I think you get some hints that some of the Grongi aren't allowed to. Like, there's another group. Like, there's sections of Grongi. Like, there's one group that's kind of going against the other group. I guess they're trying to get ahead. We don't know too much about how that works, but certain ones aren't allowed to play the game. So we're kind of getting their kind of power dynamic. Other than that, I mean, they're kind of just sprinkling it out. I think Kamen Rider does a good job of like kind of spacing out the reveals, kind of always doing something. My biggest thing, well, first, there was a full body henshin. I think this is the first time we've seen Yusuke transform just in one go. Usually he's hitting people and then that part transforms. This one, he just
Oh,
goes in one blow. He just hits it and then he kind of transforms.
you're right.
And then I think the other big thing was the police are like, they're going to town with their info gathering. Like, they're doing a pretty good job for being just like
Yeah.
humans. Like, they've got plans, they've got equipment, they figure
Yeah.
things out. We'll get into it later too, but I think they're doing a decent job. They're doing a lot better than I would think they would be doing.
Yeah.
The only other thing is, man, that body count, like, they're killing a
In
lot of
this
people.
Yeah, like in this episode, I think they said it was like what 230 or something like that.
I don't remember, but
280.
it's a lot.
They definitely said yeah. I was like, gosh. I said nah. You can't
Yeah.
tell me to move to Japan at this time. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, but I had the same notes. I wrote down that Minori uh, was deeply concerned about Yusuke fighting the monsters, and she wants him to stay himself. Like, don't lose sight, of who he is, because it seems like he's enjoying the fighting and stuff like that. So, um, also, I don't know if it's just me and like, but I feel like they're like adding in like new Grongi that didn't show up before. Like they were in the room. I was like, I don't remember there being this many uh around talking and like yeah.
Well, I think a couple episodes ago, you see that a new group kind of comes in. Like, it feels like there's more factions of the Grongi that we haven't met yet. Because a new
Hmm.
group came in and they kind of were like, hey, you guys aren't doing it right. Give us a turn.
Yeah. You're talking about when the tiger lady went kind of crazy
I think it
or
was after the
after
Tiger
that?
later. Yeah, I think it was when
Oh.
the Flyer was the Flyer the first one of their group. I forget.
I know they had the mantis and then they had the wasp.
Yeah, maybe it was the Wasp was the first one that did it, but it felt like they
Oh.
came into the place and they were like, yeah, I think our group. It's time for our group to try because you guys aren't getting it done.
Okay, I must have missed it then or
Yeah.
overlooked it. Okay. All right.
So
Gotcha.
I don't know if that
And
means there's even more that we haven't seen yet. I think the police did
yeah.
say that place that number zero, unidentified life form zero was at, had like a
Mhm.
couple hundred graves or something like that. I don't remember.
100.
Yeah, he had a lot.
That's insane. But yeah, they are definitely going at each other's heads. I think the last one of the first four that like when you see them wandering the streets, it's kind of getting restless.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for episode 9.
Yeah.
Honestly. Hmm.
All right. So that's it for that episode. Let's go ahead into 10, which is Shiretsu, or fierceness. So we cut back exactly where we left off in episode 9, where Kuuga is just attacking Giga, but we kind of zoom out a little bit and we see that it's not doing anything. So he ends up retreating only because steam starts pouring out of his body.
Hmm.
So he kind of like shrugs off all of Kuga's attacks. I and then he just goes to town on Kuuga, and he's about to deliver a blow when steam starts pouring out, and then he's like, all right, I gotta bounce, and then he leaves. The police go into the Grongi hideout. First, they throw in some smoke bombs, they wait for a little bit, and then they go in, and then find out the Grongi had escaped. Like, there's a tunnel that kind of escapes out of the back. But as the police enter the building, the dog catches the scent of one of them and starts chasing after it. And then you hear him yelp, and then it looks like the Grongi just like killed the dog.
Yeah, Mikata is not going to be in the next season. That's
Yeah.
sure.
And then the handler is like broken. He's just bawling his eyes out. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a sad scene, but yeah. I guess they got annoyed with the dog, and they were like, "Yeah, no more of this."
Yeah. I think he's unhinged at this point. The Grongi.
Yeah, he's pissed off. Yeah,
that specific one. He's
Yeah.
gonna be unhinged at this point.
yeah, but he's still kind of in the background. But he's mad because everybody knows it's him that they're tracking, and he's like, "Yeah, no more of this," and just kills him. So we go back, and Ichijo and Yusuke go back to the police department for a little training session. And they're just doing, what is it? They're just training with Shinai and kind of doing some sword drills, I guess.
Yeah,
Some kendo. They're doing some kendo training.
that's what it's called. I was gonna say fencing, but it's not fencing.
Yeah, it's not fencing, it's kendo with the Shinai. Shinai, I think they're called? Yeah. So Yusuke thinks that he figured something out, and completely like freaks out Ichijo when he tries doing it, but he comes up with an idea. In that meantime, the police end up finding Giga, and start trying to fight him. Yusuke ends up meeting up with them before they can all get destroyed, and then he transforms into Purple Kuuga and then pulls the handle from the bike, turns it into a sword, and then ends up killing Giga. And I think that's pretty much the end of the episode. So the big notes are we get purple form Kuuga, which is Titan form. My other big notes for the episode were the police are really figuring a lot out. Like, they have a lot of intel. And they're not doing half bad. Like, they're doing a decent job. I think I said it at the beginning of, or during last episode, but they're really doing a really good job. And they're working well with Yusuke as well as Kamen Rider, without even, I guess a handful of them know who he is, but they're doing a really good job working with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess a handful of them do know. Yeah, at first when the shop owner brought out like his book. What's it called? Photoshopping? No.
The scrapbook? The scrapbook?
Yeah, scrapbook.
Yeah.
The scrapbook. Photoshop. The scrap. When he brought out the scrapbook, I was like, does he know that's Yusuke? And like apparently, but like some people do and some people don't, because he was talking to his sister. He was like, "Oh, you're looking at me," and I was like, "Wait." It's kind of like weird coming from Sentai Rangers to come into this, and it's just like, oh yeah, I guess it's not a big secret. If you know, you know.
Well, the only people that really know are like the police that he works with, and then his sister. And I think he told his sister as soon as it happened.
True.
And then Sakurako, because she translates from him. Like, I don't think anybody else at the university knows.
Yeah, I guess.
Well, maybe the other people he's helped kind of know, because he transformed in front of the little girl, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, but he's not like actively trying to keep it a secret, though.
Yeah.
He's just kind of living. But yeah, I thought that was kind of like that kind of piqued my mind. I was like, what's going on here? But that makes sense. As far as Yusuke turning into the purple form, Yeah, I don't know why, but when I heard there was another color, I thought it was gonna be orange for whatever reason. I thought it was gonna be orange. Why orange? I don't know, but the purple form is cool. So I was like, all right,
So one thing that I did catch was when he transformed, the Arkle,
mm,
which is his little
yeah,
belt, you could see
yeah,
it like the jewel is purple.
yeah. I saw that.
Yeah,
I thought that was cool, and then I
yeah,
even saw it in like the other episode. It was like red, and I was like, ah, okay. But when
yeah,
he transformed again, I was like, yeah, all
yeah.
right.
No
I see
future spoilers, but the next time he does it, I'm like looking really close at the jewel. I'm like, okay, is he gonna turn into that form? And then he does. I'm like,
that.
okay, I got you now. I know what you're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. I know your secrets.
Yeah,
But yeah. Also, I don't know how he came up with this strategy, but the greatest secret weapon of all time was just to walk your enemy down unfazed and just stick him like a pot sticker. That's it.
yeah.
just, just walk.
Which is a little confusing because it was like all I guess they said in the translation was that he ends up with a sword. So I thought it was going to be like the other form where no, in the other form I think he increased his power, but his defense went down or something like that.
You talking about the blue one?
Yeah.
His like speed and agility went up, but
Oh
his
yeah.
power went down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it was. So I
And then the
thought it was
green.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought this one was going to be the same way. He gets more power, but he has less defense. So I'm like, why are you just going to let him shoot you? And dude was just going blindly too. It's like going all around him.
Yeah, I was like, he's walking straight. Like he's not even trying.
And like the area to the other side of him blows up, and it's like, you were doing a great job shooting everybody
Yeah,
before.
yeah. What in the
But
stormtrooper? Like that's like, heck nah, man. Say this can't be real.
yeah. So,
Uh-uh.
but I mean, another good episode about of Kamen Rider. I think in
Yeah,
this one we get a little bit more conversation between Yusuke and Minori. So it's more of
yeah,
she kind of tells him why she's so worried, and then he kind of I think she kind of gets reassured from him.
mhm,
So I thought it was pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah. He's like he fights for the same reason that she's a teacher
Yeah,
because she likes to see people smile. So he fights because he likes to see people smile, and that he's also scared and whatnot. But yeah, it was really nice, nice wholesome moment
yeah,
on the swings, dangling in your feet.
yeah,
Yeah, but I think that's it for episode 10. I don't think there's really much.
yeah. So we can go on to number 11. So in episode 11 is Yakusoku, or Promise. One note that I realized, I don't know if you're still skipping the openings, but I believe in this episode the opening changes and we kind of get a flash of all of his forms inside the opening montage.
Okay.
They
I'm gonna
insert a
have to
new
watch it
scene that
again.
shows them all.
Okay, I gotta watch it again. I kind of skipped them this time because I was trying to catch up. It's
Yeah.
been a crazy week, but yeah.
So we open with Yusuke making curry. Then Zhu Zhan Da comes across a driver of a truck and ends up killing him. So there's a driver driving a big truck. Xian, I think is his name. Or
hmm
Zane?
Zane.
Zane comes
hmm
across, kind of gets annoyed at the driver, pulls him out. Or no, I think the driver tries to run away. He grabs him and then just like impales him like twice with his head horn. He's like a big rhino.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty brutal. I'm
It's
laughing, but
nice.
it's brutal.
I
Yeah,
was like, whoa. It's a funny imagery or scene, but it's
yeah,
pretty dark.
it's pretty bad.
It's pretty dark. Oh man.
So we have another scene where this teacher is kind of going through some books and sees a reminder that he's supposed to be meeting somebody today,
Mhm.
which was kind of odd. And then we meet Nana.
Mhm.
So Nana comes into the restaurant, and then she sees Yusuke, and like immediately she's like in love. Like Yusuke is the best thing ever, which was pretty quick. But I also
Yeah.
have a note that I think we saw her at the train station when Jean was leaving last episode. So last episode, Jean was at the train station trying to leave, and then some girl finds him, and then she's like trying to get some help. And I think that was Nana.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
So
remember.
this is the second time we were seeing her. And speaking of Jean, we cut back, and Jean is in, I forget what part of Japan he's in, but he's going to the place where they found the artifact to try to get some more information. And we see that Mika is actually helping him out at the work site.
Oh, John. I was like, who the heck is John? But that
Jean.
makes sense.
Jean.
Jean.
Yes.
The guy who likes the pickled, what,
Yeah.
radishes or something? Or-
No, they're pickled plums.
yeah. Pickled plums.
What is the name of them? They are umeboshi. Umeboshi.
Yeah. That guy. He's such an afterthought. It's like, it's not even, like, why is he
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. And it's always like the weirdest vibe with him too. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't like remember that scene. I was like, what?
even at there, it's just like, hey, I need my umeboshi. I need my pickled plums, or I'm not gonna be able to survive. Okay, but okay, guy.
Go to the store, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like okay, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's looking at the artifact.
Yeah. So they were trying to, I guess, research, try to find some more clues.
Yeah.
Let's
He's
see.
with the girl, the one that brought the artifact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mika. So Yusuke gets a call about ULF 22 and heads off, but sends Sakurako to the meeting with his teacher instead.
Yeah.
The Grongi, then we cut back to the Grongi meeting up, and I think this is where the new faction kind of comes across, and they're speaking in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, one of the Grongi in the other group who is never allowed to like play the game or whatever is start speaking in like whatever their tongue is, and the leader is like, hey, we speak in their tongue when we're out, because I guess she doesn't want to get caught. She's trying not to get more suspicion brought on him,
Yeah.
which is a smart move.
Yeah. Yeah, that dude can't catch a break at all.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Bat Dude, right? He's just, I don't
Yeah.
I'm surprised he's still alive, honestly.
Why is he still alive?
I don't know.
Why is he here?
He's gotta like, I don't know what happens in the future, but he's got to get the most powerful power up or something, and like just
Yeah.
become like this major force. I don't know what's gonna
Yeah,
happen.
the
Something's got to
payoff has
happen.
be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's got to be something. Anyway, Ichijo makes it to the scene where the police cornered, what is it, Zane?
Yeah.
And then Zane hits Yusuke hard. He like just hits him hard because he shows up. I guess
Yeah.
Yusuke makes it to the scene where they cornered him. I don't think Ichijo makes it. It's Yusuke that shows up. He hits him with the bike, and then Zane does not let him transform. He just keeps attacking him.
Yeah. Yeah. Insane.
Yeah.
I said, ooh. He wants all the smoke.
Yeah. And he hits him hard.
Yeah. He said, fight back.
But anyway, Yusuke eventually dodges enough to buy him some time to transform. And this is where I noticed that the article was showing like the red form, and then he
Yeah.
transforms into the red form.
Yeah.
So they keep fighting. And Yusuke is not having an easy time with this one. He's getting it handed to him, and then at the end, Zane throws him up in the air, and he's about to impale him with his head horn. And that's where we cut from the episode. It's like, yeah. See you next week. Bye.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, they know how to do a cliffhanger. I'll say that.
Yeah. That was definitely one of them.
That. They said we are working with a budget. We are going to figure this out.
I think they do a decent job with cutting them off kind of in places that don't seem too bad for the most part, though.
Yeah. It's very, I mean, it keeps you coming back for more. So
yeah.
I like it. I think it's smart.
And it kind of gives a flow to them.
That is true. I guess it gives it an easy point to like just come back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna have to make a note of that. Use that. Yeah.
We'll see. Any big thoughts on 11?
I mean, outside of Rhino guy Zane, I call him Rhino guy. He is dropping bodies like crumbs. So like he's not playing, bro.
Yeah.
He dropped like 30 people.
I don't know, but he is mad.
Yeah, like it was crazy. So, I mean, no, I guess outside of that, not really. What's her name? Nana. She thinks that Yusuke is like some type of character out of manga.
Yeah.
So perfect. Yeah. I was like, what? I said, wait a minute. What?
Like she got it bad quickly.
Yeah. Smitten completely.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't have anything else.
We can go ahead with 12 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 12 is Onshi, or teacher. Yusuke grabs the horns at the last second, so we cut right back where we left off on 11 with Yusuke coming down on the horns. But at the last second, he grabs the horn and kind of flips Zane over him, which is actually a pretty good move. Like, props to Yusuke. At the end, he ends up using one of his little powerful kicks on Zane, but it doesn't really do too much. Zane just gets up and he's like, "You're gonna have to do better, bro." And then Biran shows up, and the two of them end up fighting. And in the scuffle, they end up falling into like a river and then getting away. Excuse me.
That's when Ichijo shows up.
Yeah, that's when he shows up, and then Yusuke dehensions. He undoes his transformation, and then they kind of informs him on what's going on. We cut back, and Nana is at the restaurant, and then the owner introduces her as his niece. And then I think Minori shows up, and then Nana's about to go on her until she realizes that that's his sister. And then she's like, "Oh, does he go out a lot to see girls?" And then Minori's like, no, not at all.
No. He has no emotion.
Yeah.
He's just going to see his teacher. That's it.
Yeah.
She said, "What a relief."
Yeah. So speaking of his teacher, Sakurako is going up to that old town, and then she ends up kind of seeing this guy a couple times on the route, and then she eventually realizes that that's the teacher that she was supposed to be meeting up with, and they chat for a little bit. Apparently the teacher was trying to decide whether he wanted to quit being a teacher because he didn't think he was really making an impact, and not sure what kind of an impact he was supposed to be making. So he was kind of using this, which was kind of odd because he just suddenly goes through a book to see a note that he had completely forgotten. And then he's like, "But if Yusuke doesn't show up, then that tells me that I'm not a good teacher and I should quit."
Yeah, I thought that was weird.
It was forced, but I mean, you kind of get we get a lot of not a lot, but we get a little bit of Yusuke's backstory. We find out that his father passed away when he was little, and that he kind of was trying to stay strong for his mom and his sister. and that this teacher is the one that kind of showed him the thumbs up, and that it's kind of supposed to be related back to the Roman Colosseum, I assume, because that would have been the thumbs up, thumbs down at the Colosseum, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And then kind of gives him the fire it feels like that Yusuke was using kind of the rest of his life, which was kind of nice, I think. Yusuke, though, in that time went off to kind of do some training. I forget which technique he's training, but we learned that Yusuke was supposed to master 2,000 things before the year 2000, which is when this is supposed to be taking place. That's the promise he made with the teacher when he was a kid. So Yusuke finishes his training. Ichijo and the police once again figure out an important clue that it's the idling cars that trigger Zane. So Ichijo uses that to kind of bait Zane out, which, my man, wait until you have Yusuke around before you do it. Because Zane comes out and he's just like crashes the window, grabs him, and is just about to murk him. And then thankfully Yusuke shows up at the last minute to save Ichijo, because I don't think he was long for this world.
yeah. Not the way this guy's moving.
Nope.
Nah.
But anyway, he ends up transforming, and then he does his new special move with a kick so hard in the head that he explodes Zane. I think he cracks his horn off and then like explodes him hard. Yeah, and then that's pretty much the end of that fight. So he goes back, and then he rushes up the mountain and ends up meeting his teacher and Sakurako before they leave.
Nice.
And I think that's pretty much the end of the episode.
All right. Nice. I will say, I fell asleep. So I fell asleep during this episode. Not because it was a bad episode. I almost fell asleep at work. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I was just really tired. I got bits and pieces. I missed the part where he kicked the dude in the horn. So
Oh
that
yeah,
was
he
great to
kicked
me.
him hard. This is the super special kick, which
Yeah.
we'll see if they say anything else about the kick. But
Okay. I'll rewatch it so I can see the kick.
well, I could probably say this: kicks are a big thing in Rider series.
Yeah.
Kicks.
Yeah. But I mean, we touched on it because we touched on it as you were going over it. But it was kind of weird that the teacher opened up the book and was like, "Huh, let me go to this place randomly since I see this now." It was just kind of weird, but yeah, it was forced. That's. I else thought it was just like weird with the teacher. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think it was a good episode. You got a little bit of Yusuke's backstory. I don't even know if you can really say backstory. You got a little bit. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of his past. You learn a little bit about his past and how he was as a kid, and kind of how some of his little mannerisms happen, and how his attitude was kind of helped along by this teacher. So I think it was a pretty nice episode. It got you some backstory. It got you a new move.
Nice.
If we're looking at all 4 of the episodes from this week, I think it's a pretty nice. I don't know if this is the end of the new moves / powers, but I think we're gradually getting him even more powerful. I don't know. The power balance between Yusuke and the Grongi seem pretty even at this point. I think they usually come out a little bit more powerful, and then that's when he unlocks whatever he needs to. But I think it looked like
Yeah.
Sakurako had translated everything that she had, so we'll see what they. I assume they're going to find something at the ruins,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then we're going to go from there. But
Yeah. I forgot she translated all of it. They did show each of the translations on the screen at once. and that was pretty cool to see.
Yeah,
Uh,
and
the the purple one didn't match up with what they said in the when they first brought it up, but that's neither here nor there.
yeah, because at first I thought they were just like, yeah, the purple form has a sword or something. But this
Yeah.
one, I think it did talk about it having extra armor as well
Mm-hmm.
as having the sword. So I was like, oh, okay. So
Yeah.
this makes it a little bit easier to swallow that he could just walk up and get hit like a couple times and be okay.
Yeah.
Like okay,
Yeah. Yeah. That
but
part definitely like confused me. I said, okay. Plot armor.
yeah,
Deal.
like exactly,
Like, on the nose.
yeah.
But I'm curious to see where it goes from here since he I guess unlocked each form now. So I wonder how it's gonna progress and what's gonna happen moving forward. So like if he's gonna like learn the new moves like you said, or like maybe there's like a secret form that like they don't know about and they're gonna figure it like just I don't know, he's gonna randomly transform and they're like, whoa. I don't know.
I'm
But
sure
I'm
there's
curious.
plenty more tricks. I know how it would go in a future season. Well, I don't know because they switch it up a lot, but I'm interested in
Yeah.
seeing how they're going to do it now.
Yeah. It's interesting. I'm invested. So
Yep.
I'm glad we're watching it.
Yeah. That's good. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this week. Thank you for giving us our time. I will come up with a proper outro maybe eventually. We'll see. Maybe that'll be the new thing for episode 5 because I had a sort of intro for 4. So episode 5, the outro. The outro will be here. We'll see.
I'll see. Yeah.
But hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're here for the journey. If not, there should be links in the description with locations where you can find the shows. I think
Yeah.
it's on Tubi for free and Amazon.
Hmm.
Kamen Rider, I think, is on Amazon. If you have Prime,
Hmm.
Sentai, I think you
Yeah.
have to use some other program. But
Yeah.
links are
We'll
in the
put it in.
description. Hope you're enjoying yourself. I know I am so far. So hope to
Yeah.
see
It's
you
pretty
again
great.
next week.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Don't dehenshin
Yeah.
suddenly.
Don't do that.
Make sure you watch out.
Yeah.
Suzuku. To be continued.